Hey everybody, welcome back to the LoveBook Builder Studio. Today I'm going to be continuing my love book for my wife Sarah, and we're making her first time Mother's Day book. So with Mother's Day coming up, I wanted to get something for her that's special, and I wanted to kind of document our journey through the pregnancy. So we're already on to page 6, 7, 8. This particular episode is going to be about baby names. This was us coming up with all the different names and trying to figure out what we were going to call our son. Well, we didn't know it was a son at the time, but you know how it is. So I'm kind of tossing this out there to you guys. What are the typical baby names, or what was your journey coming up with a baby name? How do you go through your naming process? I guess that's what I'm looking for. So for our particular process, we had to kick around a bunch of different ideas. And before we get started in this, I'm gonna just go ahead and start looking up for the moment. So when we were coming up with our baby names, we were definitely in bed. So I'm going to look up bed, and this is going to be your first time you've seen this, by the way. If you watch any of the other episodes, you're going to see some age sensitive content in here, which if you click on this, these are our 18 and over pages. These are a little spicy. These are the ones that are more for adult romantic relationships. These are cartoon characters, so they're not super graphic, but they do get into some interesting vocabulary. And yeah, we did have a fun time making these pages. So I'm gonna grab this page though. This is a nice template to start with. We were in bed and we were talking about the different names, and the things with names is that we didn't know if it was a boy or girl. So right, you have to come up with multiple names. You have to come up with a whole series of boy names and girl names. And in our case, we had a ton of girl names. They were so easy to come up with girl names because we could think of all of the cool friends that we've had growing up, the cute girls, the fun girls. Just girl names were easy to come up with. Boy names, on the other hand, boy names were really hard. Every time we would try to come up with a boy name, we would both have some weird experience. And to be fair, we did have that with a couple girl names. Yeah, I would bring up a name, like Stacy or something like that. It should be, Stacy. I knew a Stacy growing up or something like that. No offense to all you Stacys out there, but it's just an example. That's what it would happen over and over again. So we have to land on something. But we did. We finally did agree on one, and Jackson was the name. It was Jaxon, and that was kind of a compromise too because she wanted it Jackson with a CK. I kind of X in it. I know it's a little weird spelling. And trust me, I'm not a huge fan of weird spelling names, especially when you're trying to do roll call as a teacher and you're trying to, reminds me of that Key and Peele episode where they're trying to pronounce the names. But let's see, what did we have here? For this particular page, I was going to do, I love that we agreed on a name. I can't imagine him as any born other than Jackson. Okay. And this was kind of, it was a fun moment. We did have a bunch of different names picked out, but I think we're happy with the one we landed on. Now as I look at it, he's 5 months old, 4.5 months old now, and I literally can't see him as anything other than Jackson. So I guess that's how it works. So I'm gonna go in and change the color of this text, and I'm gonna open our eyes up, and actually I'll change the expressions. We're kind of talking, right? So give me a good talking one here. This one, and I'll give this one, and I'll kind of put her arm down here, and I'm gonna go in and also get them more in the moment here. So I'm gonna change her shirt. I'll put a tank top on her, and I'll put a tank top on myself as well, like kind of bedtime routine type of thing. So let me throw a tank top on, and you know what? I'm also gonna scale these guys up just a smidge, just so they're characters are a little bit bigger. Okay. And for the text, I'm going to come over here and let's add some text. Let's put in a bubble, and I'm going to say something. What about Carl? And I'm going to offend all the Carls out there. Sorry, Carls, but you got to know, right? You got to know. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this bubble over here over her head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the swap characters button. So it basically like changes our position. Now, okay, so maybe I should, because she's gonna say something, because I always sleep on the right side of the bed. So actually I'm gonna put this back over here. I'm gonna flip this, and then I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm gonna flip this one as well. And she's gonna be, what? Ew, no. I knew a Carl. No. There we go. All right. So that's it. That's kind of the page. This is a real quick one. I'm gonna try to go through these pretty quickly. So this one's us naming our baby, and I'd like to hear from you guys to see what you guys did for your names when you decided to name your kids. What kind of arguments did you guys get into? I think I'd love to do pages where, if you guys have good stories or some sort of history as to how you came up with your names or something like that. I'd love to create multiple pages about this and stick them into the database. So again, this is for lovebookonline.com, and this page will be available for you to use in your own book if you decide you wanted to go into our website and create your own book that lists all the reasons why you love somebody. So if you do want to do that, this will be keyworded under probably baby names or baby or name or something like that. Maybe I'll use a whole series of the same keyword so you can find all of them at the same time. But yeah, I will continue this journey. I got probably another 20 some odd more pages to do, and I'm just going to keep building them. And as I build them, I'm going to keep adding them to the system. And again, in the comments, if you guys want to see something, just chime in and we'll start the conversation there, and we'll see what other fun, crazy pages we can create. So see you on the next one.